let's say, my lord, your lordship is aware that in that Adani SEBI matter, they are saying, SEBI is saying, we don't know whether these companies who have invested in the Adani companies from Mauritius and from these tax havens, whether they are in fact owned by Adani or not, or whether they are related to Adani or not. Now it is open to any of these companies to set up a subsidiary in India and donate to any political party of their choice any amount, even if it's a pure shell company, which means no business, no profits, just an amount is received from its parent company, which is registered in a tax haven, and that amount is given to a political party. So one of my arguments, my lord, I have three main arguments which I am going to argue before your lordship against these electoral bonds. The first is that it defeats the people's right to be informed about the sources of funding of political parties, which in my respectful submission and in the light of several judgments of this court is a fundamental right of citizens under Article 19(1)(a). That's the first argument. Because right to information has been held to be a fundamental right under Article 19(1)(a). In fact, in that ADR judgment and then in the follow-up PUCL judgment, this court said that every citizen has a fundamental right to know about the assets and liabilities of every candidate, about the criminal antecedents. And when that was sought to be overcome by means of an amendment, that amendment was struck down on this precise ground.
Right. That's the first submission. What is the second?
That's the first. Second is that this opaque instrument, anonymous instrument, in fact promotes corruption in the country, because there is good reason to believe, and I'll show my lord why, that these bonds are being given by way of kickbacks to parties in power. Almost all the bonds have been received only by parties in power. More than 50% have been received only by the ruling party at the center, and the rest have been received only by the ruling party in the states. Virtually nothing, not even 1%, has been received by opposition parties which are not ruling in the center or at the states. And virtually all the bonds have been purchased by corporates, by companies, because they are almost all of denomination of 1 crore and above. 95% are in the denomination of 1 crore. 1 crore. Therefore, my lord, and you have simultaneously amended you have removed the cap on corporate donations and amended FCRA.
All right, there's a second submission.
That's the second submission. The third submission is, my lord, that it disturbs and indeed destroys democracy in this country, because it does not allow a level playing field between political parties which are ruling versus political parties which are in opposition, or between political parties and independent candidates.